Welcome to new BeQuick series, in-depth analysis of weekly news. On today's menu, first, anger in Paris after police kill teen who refused traffic stop. The infamous implosion of Titanic sub in which 5 people died. Ukraine war. Countdown has begun to end of Putin. Then, Dana White confirms the fight between Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk, as well as Young Thug announces release of new album, Business is Business, while in jail. France is currently on high alert as protests intensify in the aftermath of a fatal police shooting involving a teenager. The incident, which was recorded on video, has triggered widespread anger and calls for justice. In an effort to prevent further unrest, the French authorities have deployed a significant number of police officers, with 40,000 personnel stationed throughout the country, including 5,000 in Paris alone. The protests have been characterized by acts of arson and attacks on public buildings, raising concerns of a resurgence of the 2005 riots that lasted for 3 weeks. The shooting has struck a chord, particularly among young individuals from marginalized communities, who perceive a long-standing issue of discrimination and bias within law enforcement. France's commitment to secularism, which seeks to ensure equality by disregarding differences, presents a unique challenge in addressing allegations of racism within the police force. The outcome of the ongoing investigation and the government's response to the protests will have far-reaching implications for police accountability and social cohesion in the country. A submersible named Titan, which was exploring the wreckage of the Titanic, went missing in the North Atlantic Ocean with 5 people on board. The search area was extensive, with aircraft scanning the region while medical personnel and a hyperbaric chamber were en route. There were hopeful signs of banging noises heard underwater, indicating the possibility of survivors, although their origin remained unclear. However, the latest update reveals that the missing Titanic subcrew is believed to be dead following a catastrophic implosion. Presumed human remains have been found in the wreckage of the Titan submersible, which imploded during a dive to the Titanic. The U.S. Coast Guard will analyze the presumed remains, and the investigation into the disaster is still in its early stages. All 5 individuals on board the submersible tragically lost their lives in the incident. OceanGate, the company responsible for the dive, has faced criticism for its safety practices. The Wagner mutiny in Russia has caused panic, uncertainty, and hopes for change in the country's ethnic republics. During the rebellion, ethnic festivals took place in various regions, but local leaders refrained from commenting on the events in Moscow. The government's instability left the regional heads in a state of fear and confusion, forcing them to carry on with normal activities and wait for a resolution. Despite issuing statements in support of the Kremlin, many leaders fell short of showing unequivocal support. People in the ethnic republics saw the rebellion as an opportunity for change and expressed opposition to both Prigozhin and Putin. However, disappointment arose when the mutiny failed to fundamentally alter the course of the conflict in Ukraine. Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg have engaged in a light-hearted discussion about a potential cage fight to settle their business rivalry. Musk expressed his interest on Twitter, and Zuckerberg responded positively on Instagram. It remains unclear whether they are serious or not, but their previous clashes over artificial intelligence add intrigue to the situation. Chael Sonnen, backed by UFC President Dana White, supports the idea and predicts record-breaking pay-per-view sales if the fight takes place. While some criticize the involvement of the UFC, Sonnen sees it as an opportunity for entertainment and a departure from the seriousness of the sport. Incarcerated rapper Young Thug has confirmed the release of his upcoming album, titled Business is Business, through a social media announcement. The album, featuring a black and white cover art depicting Thug in a courtroom surrounded by co-defendants, will be his first full-length project since 2021's Punk. This release follows Thug's arrest on RICO charges, alongside rapper Gunna and others, in a large-scale gang indictment. Despite his incarceration, the album has garnered support from artists like Drake, 21 Savage, and Coi Leray. This is it for this week's most important news. Signing off, BeQuick.